and welcome to BBC World News. I'm David Eaves.
And I'm Lucy Hockings. The headlines. Halving greenhouse gases by 2050. The G8 endorses a bold target, but campaigners are unimpressed.
Thaksin on trial. Thailand's former Prime Minister is accused of corruption.
It's exactly 1 month to the Olympics, but Beijing's air pollution is casting a pall over the Olympic preparations.
The cost of a flight, the real cost. Scrutiny of the airlines by the European Parliament.
Also coming up on the programme, the Tour de France completes its third stage with a great win for the Frenchman, Samuel Dumoulin.
And Mamma Mia, West End Theatre is packed to the rafters. But is it value for money?
G8 leaders are calling it a breakthrough, but environmentalists say it's toothless. A strengthened commitment by the leaders to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2050.
But they warn this can only happen if economies like China and India also commit to it. Environmental campaigners are not convinced.
Indeed, one group, the World Wildlife Fund, called it pretty pathetic. Well, let's go live now to the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido. That's where the summit is taking place, and our correspondent Chris Hogg is there. Chris?
Well, this announcement from the G8 came in 3 pages of densely typed text. It's difficult, really, to make sense of it. Joining us to try to come up with some answers is Kumi Naidu from the Global Call to Action Against Poverty.
Thanks for joining us from Hokkaido. Well, that's the latest from the G8. Back to you, David.
Lucy, thanks very much indeed. Let's catch up on some other stories this hour now. A senior British security official has told the BBC there are very strong indications that the fatal poisoning in London 2 years ago of this man, the former Russian intelligence officer Alexander Litvinenko, was a state action. The British Internal Security Service MI5 says it also believes it thwarted an attempt last year to kill another Russian dissident.
These are our headlines. G8 leaders agree to halve greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, but the world awaits the crucial details.
Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin is on trial, accused of corruption. We've got business news now. Juliet's here. It's lovely and warm in here, Juliet. Not quite so nice out there, is it?
You make me feel extremely guilty because whenever I sit here, I always bring bad news. And I'm not going to break with the tradition.
It's your job.
It's my job, yes. Not necessarily to deliver bad news, but it's not good out there. Hopefully, we're going to bring up the market boards because it was a pretty bad session in the Far East, as you can see there. Just to get those losses on the Nikkei, the benchmark index, 326 points off.
OK, well, Juliet's with us now. More turbulence across the markets. It's getting to them, isn't it?
It's not getting to me, though. I'm not jumping off the buildings yet. It's absolutely right, though. There is a fair amount of turbulence. Let's start with the Far Eastern markets. Really, that set the tone for what's happening across the rest of the day. Big losses there for the Nikkei, the key boards. Is also the Hang Seng, the Kospi index in South Korea. Basically, what was happening was a reaction to what occurred in the United States overnight. Now, it really stemmed from the forecast from some analysts at the US banking giant Lehman Brothers, and what they predicted was that 2 American mortgage lenders, the 2 being Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, that between them they may need to raise a combined $75 billion in order to overcome further write-downs. So predictably, that triggered a little bit of a panic, shall we say, in the banking sector. It wasn't helped, of course, by downgrades coming through from some of the analysts on these Far Eastern stocks. I mean, for example, analysts at Citigroup, they forecast that Merrill Lynch may also post a second quarter loss after $6 billion of write-down. So again, feeding through to the banking sector. And it really fed its way through to what...
Watching BBC World News, we've got the sport to come, of course. Mike is with us.
How's the tour going so far, Mike?
Well, so
is it scandal-free?
It's only the 4th day today, which is a time trial stage around Cholet, the town of Cholet in the Loire Valley. But so far, they promised a fresh start regarding the drug scandals of recent years, and fingers crossed so far it's all been going well enough. No problems as such so far. Just the problem of a French scarf a fan scarf getting in the spokes, which we'll show you now, because Romain Filou claimed the yellow jersey after stage 3 of the Tour de France, after compatriot Samuel Dumoulin won the 208-kilometre ride from St Malo to Nantes. It was the longest since 1980 to win the French Open and Wimbledon titles in the same season. It could be said Rafael Dhoni has opted out of India's forthcoming Test series against Sri Lanka. Dhoni, who is India's one-day captain, has complained about tiredness. Mourinho. The pair worked together for 3 years at Chelsea, and Inter are reportedly willing to play, or to pay even, $15 million for the 30-year-old. So talks continue with Lampard and Inter, it seems. That's all from
Goes on and on. Mike, thanks very much indeed for that. We're getting very excited about 1 month to the day before the Beijing Olympics actually kick off. The previous Olympics in Athens, of course, 4 years ago, set a new unwanted record of being the most drug-tarnished Olympics in history. Now, statistically speaking, Athens was twice as bad as the previous worst games for doping offences. Doesn't look good, does it? By the time the flame was extinguished in the Olympic Stadium, 24 doping violations had been uncovered already this year. 8 Chinese athletes have been banned. That's after being testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Those results turned up amid 5,000 drugs tests administered by China since January. Well, with me now is Professor Jeffrey Goldsmith. He's an anti-doping specialist from University College in London, also visiting professor at the University of Vienna. Professor, thanks very much indeed for joining us. From an anti-doping perspective, are you in the best form of your life heading into Beijing?
Yes, I'm optimistic that the controls will
Ladies and gentlemen, just a few minutes away from both of us. Goodbye for now.
Bye.